Welcome to the Talking Sport Report podcast with Scotty and Eggo. Unbelievable!
I'm excited because Greg Bird, who is not only a NRL superstar and was an incredible player throughout his time as an NRL player, played over in France, played for his state, played for his country, played for his, as in country versus city as well, so like a double country. He's played twice. Yeah. Two different kind of countries. Yeah. But I was excited to he said he was going to come on the show. Scotty, what's the best way to describe this chat we've just had with Greg?
Relaxed, natural, unfiltered. I say unfiltered, but there is a part we do have to scrap. We have to. We have promised him quite a, and as you'll see from the reaction, it's quite an interesting line. I think the only thing missing were beers. Like, that was just a general Saturday afternoon on the punt.
There is some brilliant State of Origin stories in here. He has got some fantastic insights around what happened behind the scenes, the infamous Nate Myles punch from Gal, like going up against that incredible Queensland side. What happened when he got injured against the Newcastle Knights and how he felt about the Newcastle Knights at the time, which I didn't realise there was a bit of heat there between Greg and the Knights players, like Joey and Steve Simpson. There's an incredible story there. And yes, we do have an incredible sledge at the end. Plus, he answered some questions from some of our legendary throat goats here on the podcast that sent in some questions for Greg. So should we kick it off?
Up. Definitely. I mean, hit that button. Get it going.
Here we go. Greg Bird. Thank you for coming on the Talking Sport Report. We're all roughly the same age. So you're in your early 40s. I've just turned 40. Scotty's about to turn 40. And we're just talking pre-show that it feels weird. You've represented your country, your state, your club. You're now, almost top 500 CEO in the world. And we are still living in a basement. I feel like you've done life right and we've kind of not done it right.
Are you guys East Maitland boys?
Yeah. We are.
Yeah.
West Maitland, mate, Rutherford. You know, they do it different.
Yeah. You've done pretty well.
Yeah,
You've done pretty well.
We were Peters and Mary's boys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. My wife was at Maitland High. All the guys I played footy with as a junior were Peters and Mary's boys. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. You sort of started off your career, playing in the Maitland sort of comp and then headed down to Newcastle. But, I think growing up, you would have probably hit all the same nightclubs we did. Because, back when we were going out, it was like the Clubhouse, the East Maitland Bolo. Were they kind of the spots that you would hit too? Or were you kind of more living in Newcastle at that point of age?
Mate, I would have been more Newcastle. The best ones for me, because I'd come home for Christmas, and there's no better than the Windsor Castle, into the brewery, into the Clubhouse. That was always the start on Christmas Eve. And then you get home to open presents with your family at 5 a.m. But that was a long time ago before you have kids and a wife and all that jazz. But those places, Maitland folklore.
That's brilliant. Hey, Bertie, I've got one for you. I've got a random one. I want you to take us back to that infamous streaking moment at Rutherford High. Mate, whose idea was it and what was going through your head in the lead up to it?
There was four of us, I believe. There was a couple of people filming. Like, I'm talking like not a camera. It was like the old camcorder with the fold out bit.
Brilliant.
I think there was one from one spot and one from another spot. And we wanted to sort of track it. I was 17. The other three guys were 18. The other three guys actually got questioned by the police about being charged because they exposed themselves to minors.
Minors, yeah, wow.
We actually ran past the primary school, in between the primary school at one stage, so there might have been kids that saw it. But, mate, it was the last day of school prank. We all had masks on. They're all different masks. I think one had a clown mask. I had a scream mask, so it was like
that's brilliant. That's great.
Obviously, my physique was slightly different, being like a promising footballer. So I think I might have been the only person in my school that was sort of built like me. So
So you stood out like
Yep. Everyone knew
Jesus.
straight away. I think someone yelled out, "Can you swear on this?"
Yeah, go for it. Fucking oath.
There was a girl, and I heard her scream out, "Greg, we know it's you, Greg Bird. I can see your little dick," or something like that. It was in the video. You could hear it clear as bell in the video. But yeah, it was. I made the Blues Awards. So in the Hunter Valley, there's these school sport awards, the Blues Awards, and I wasn't actually allowed to go to that. I wasn't allowed to go to our school formal.
Shit.
Suspended to that, which was, I went to the after party, so that was all that really mattered.
That's what matters, eh?
Yeah, there was a few little small repercussions. I had to go meet with the police.
Wow.
It was a laugh. It was a bit of a story, I guess.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, look, at the end of the day, when you think back to school and you want to remember things that were funny, like, yeah, you missed out on a few little awards there, but what a great story to be able to tell and have running through, especially when it's also on a camcorder. That would have been...
That's brilliant.
Would have felt like...
I don't know if the tape still exists, because it would have been on tape.
Wow.
I hope it doesn't, because they could have that later. Not that it would have by now.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, look, when you go to get married, you have to say, look, you know, there is a camcorder version of me out there running through the streets, looking pretty ripped, but you know, just so you know in the future if this ever comes up.
Yeah, I'd say that it'd be Becky, the least of Becky's worries.
Yeah.
Some of the things I've been in trouble for over the years.
Jesus Christ.
Now, you obviously didn't get a chance to play first grade for the Knights. You played like SG Ball and Harold Matthews and things like that. Was that always been a Maitland boy? Because it's funny, us being Maitland guys, it's you either love the Knights or you absolutely fucking hate the Knights. And I'd love to know what your thoughts were. You obviously came up through there, but was it one of those things there you would love to have played for the Knights that didn't work out? Did they snub you? Like, how did that not come to pass? You land at the Knights?
I wanted to play for Knights. I was a Knights fan, sort of not a like rusted on pure Knights only fan. I was a Raiders fan as a kid. I had family that played down there. But I love the Knights. I remember 97 watching the grand final where I was. That was definitely a highlight. And coming through, I played SG Ball and then played under 20s, which was Jersey Fleck back then. When I was 17, still in high school. And yeah, I asked them, I got offered to go to Cronulla Sharks, and I asked the Knights like Sharks said they'd put me in the top 25, but training full time, with the NRL team. And I said, yeah, all I wanted to do was that top 25 spot. Like, I don't care about the money. Not that the contracts were massive back then. I got offered 12 grand for Knights, and the Sharks deal was like 30 grand to go in the top 25. I said, I don't care.
Wow.
I just wanted to be in the top 25.
That's brilliant.
And they said, no, you're being under 20s player, so you're going to have to come through the ranks and do that whole system. And I said, well, looks like I'm out, and went down to Sydney and played NRL that next year.
Never look back.
Yeah, I look back. I actually was a little bit bitter at the Knights for not wanting to keep me. And the Maitland Mercury asked me to do a little story on what I thought. They just asked certain people around Maitland what they thought the score would be in the 2001 grand final. I said 36-0 to Parramatta.
So you were just a little bit dirty.
Yeah, I was more of a laugh, to be honest. But when I come back and played the Knights, it was vicious on the field. They went after me, and they made a point to go after me.
Wow.
I remember I played Joey a couple of years later. I played Joey and Steve Simpson, and I ran into a hole that wasn't there. And Joey and Steve Simpson are probably the two hardest blokes you could ever run into. And, you know, I looked up to both of them, and some of the things that Joey said to me while I was lying on the ground with two broken ribs and like 3 rib cartilages popped out, and I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to die. And the things Joey was saying to me in that moment, I knew exactly that he knew exactly that 36-0 quote, and yeah, it was a moment. But yeah, I I wish I didn't say that, and I wish I probably had some better relationships with the old Knights players. But I probably deserve that.
How about in retirement? Like, have you cleared the air with any of those boys? Or
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They probably don't even remember it anymore. But yeah, it's everyone's that plays rugby league, I think, unless you're a dick, can converse with every player that's played, and I've got a lot of things in common with those Newcastle boys coming from a few games.
So going back to them targeting you specifically during those games, who were your specific rivals from your own perspective that you always wanted to get on top of, whether it was club level, Origin, even international? Was there any in particular that you just set out to, regardless of the result, you just had to fire and let them know you were there?
Not really. Mate, to be honest, it's your Nate Myles, your Paul Gallens, the people that I know. It's weird rugby league. Yep. I remember playing against my brother-in-law. Robbie Rocco played for the Knights. Another Maitland boy. He's Maitland. Yep. The other side of the track, the rough side. And Becky said, "Oh, you're playing against Robbie today. What's it going to be like? You're going to take it easy on him." And I laughed. I was thinking he's going to get it 10 times worse than anyone else. And because I know him, it's for the moments after, when you have a beer after and you wind down and you can have a laugh. It's how I smash you.
Yeah.
Whatever I could tell Becky or, but yeah, so Nate Myles, when he was playing, for Origin, and I was Titan, we played together. We were teammates. Paul Gallen, when I played against him, when I was at the Titans and he was at the Sharks. Those sort of games, they're the ones that you sort of really go out of your way to make them your mortal enemy for those 80 minutes. But on the other side, the blokes you actually really hate, doesn't really. I guess I didn't really care. I didn't really think about it. I hated everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I was sort of like, when we sort of talk about, growing up watching you play footy, given the fact that we're very close in age, I for anyone who hadn't seen you, I would say you're like the Liam Martin in the Origin side. You had that kind of role of being a bit of an enforcer. You sort of knew whenever you were in the team, we were going to have a bit of a backbone. We're going to have a ticker. And there was going to be, in that Game 3 this year when Liam Martin come back in, it just, the whole side lifted. And I felt the same whenever you were in Origin. So when you go into those, because us soft Maitland people that don't play first grade rugby league, we don't know what a hit feels like, apart from getting maybe a pool cue over the head at the back of 3M at the Clubhouse Hotel. But it's a different kind of hit. Do you really go into those Origin camps just wanting to kill Queensland? Is it what we all think it's like from behind the scenes?
It was for me. It was for a lot of the players that I played with. We spoke about it. We spoke about being dominant physically and not letting that team. We're playing against a superstar team. There's probably 6 guys who will go down as immortals in that squad that we're coming up against, and it was that. When the forwards got them set on a platform, their backs could basically do whatever they wanted. So our job as forwards was not get them in that, let them get that in position, and we had to stop their dominance. We had to try to dominate them physically, and hopefully minimise the opportunities that those superstars had on the front foot. Yeah, we spoke about it, but I don't know whether it's the same as it is today. We spoke as far as in that 2014 series when Gal just splashed out and just punched the piss out of Nate, which was awesome.
Still a great.
It was awesome until they changed the rule. It was awesome until they changed the rule. Basically ruined rugby league. Like we just said, like Nate's a target. Like we watched videos of him and what he was doing in those games. Like he's a good player. He's good at being tough, and he's also good at being dirty. He's told me things as a teammate that I had no idea that he did until I watched the videos of things that he did in tackles. Like there's lots of things.
Oh, wow.
Melbourne Storm players used to roll. He used to do all these wrestling things. He had all these different hip drop things, but not like with his hip into like your rib cage, and then with his head, where he'd dive into tackles with his head. And you don't really notice it until you really break down his tackles. And like he was really good at it. Now they'd probably throw the book at him because it's playing touch football out there. But back then, I guess no one really picked up on all these things because it was a little bit rougher and tougher, and there wasn't as much focus on injuries and things like that. But so we spoke about it that day. And like if he says anything or does anything, just throw a punch. And
amazing.
Gal didn't even hesitate. He didn't even hesitate. He actually
didn't miss him either.
He actually cheap shotted him. He cheap shotted him, and when he pushed him, I think he might have called him a roid muncher or something like that as well. And he pushed him. As soon as Nate pushed him, he just went pop, 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 and then that was all over. But
Jesus,
yeah, we spoke about it, but.
Did you celebrate that in the sheds after the game? Was that something that was celebrated like post series or like, because that sort of stuff makes you like lift, doesn't it? Well, you see, that's Origin, right? It can't happen now, but back then that was the fire that would give you the chance to go on and win a match.
But it actually does pump you up. Like those sort of things, when you see your teammate fly out of the line, like Liam Martin was doing in game 3, when you see him fly out of the line and bash someone, you just get a lift. Like everyone gets a lift. And it's not only the fact that you don't have to get up, you get back and get up 10 metres because he's driven it back 5. Everyone's on the line waiting to get ready to go again. That's not just the end. It's like the whole emphasis of that one effort from one player can basically flip the tide on momentum, and then you can just really muscle down on a team. And mate, I thought Hudson Young, another Maitland boy, Curry boy. But I thought both our edge back rowers really shone in that game 3 and really turned the tide for us. And hopefully with Kingy next year, we can have those sort of players that can be coached. I don't think you can coach those sort of players. You sort of got to have them there. Liam Martin wasn't there. Liam Martin was there for the difference. Hopefully he can keep doing that, because I definitely think we've got the most talent. I feel like Queensland, they play with a fire that Billy had. And Billy was no clean player.
No.
The clean skin. He was not a clean skin. He was as rough and as tough as they come out there, and he gave it everything he had to win the game. And I'd never say a negative word about him. Me saying he's not clean is not a negative word. That's a pat on the back.
That is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, any of those players through that time, there was just that niggle in the game. If you were going to be the best of the best, you had to know how to play rough, play dirty, and play in people's faces to get your advantage, right? Like that was part of the game. Yeah,
it was. I guess I spoke to someone the other day, and they spoke about eras of rugby league. Like, I guess before 2000, you just had to be tough. Like it was a war out there. Like. Probably earlier than that, probably like 95, it was a war. Through 95 to 2010, you had to be both. You couldn't just be tough because you get left by the wayward. Couldn't just be skillful. You had to have skill and toughness. And then basically the newer age game is more just skill. So coming through, because you can't really get bashed now. But people do. I still think an intimidating fullback will win a game. Like that hasn't gone by the wayward, but I guess the dirtiness and the stuff you see in the 80s and 70s and 80s, early 90s, that just doesn't happen anymore. So people can get away with being just skillful, but when you come through early 2000s, and there were some big players out there, and Billy threw his body into him, and he was a jockey. He literally a jockey, and he threw his body into people. No, he's definitely one of the toughest players to play the game, and I guess he instills that on his players, which shows, So we've got to pack fire with fire when we're coming up against that team, and Lee Martin definitely sets the tone.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. I'm going to steal your question, Eggo, because it's a fantastic one. You played in a lot of jerseys throughout your career. So Knights as young players, we touched on Sharks, Titans, Catalans in France, Blues, country, international. Is there one that still holds a special place in your heart? Is there one that you've got hanging at home somewhere? Is there one that just stands out and means the absolute most to you?
Oh, mate, there's moments in rugby league, like your debut, first team. I was a bit of a, I guess I probably didn't take it, I took it for granted slightly as a young bloke.
Did you win?
We understand. First game we lost against the Bulldogs. Right. Nigel Vongenaar wedged me on one of my first touches. It was my first touch. Nigel Vongenaar come from right centre. I caught the ball and got whaled.
Jesus.
Wow.
So, and he could hit.
Welcome to the NRL.
They were pretty good back then too. They won the grand final.
Yeah, they were.
A year later, or 2 years later, got all their points taken off a year later.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had a good team. But, the Sharks, and the Titans was probably where I played my most consistent football. A bit older, a bit more knowledgeable. The difference between your best game and your worst game was a lot smaller. But New South Wales for me has always been my pinnacle. So I guess where I played some of the best footy I've played. It's on the biggest stage against the best opposition. So that was always that's looking back now. That's the one thing I really miss in rugby league is, I could go by without the week on week out, playing sore, just give it up for 6 weeks a year. That's what I really miss. But that was for me. 2014 was probably the highlight of my career.
That's awesome.
Finally breaking that drought. It was. There was a lot of emotion shared before and after that game. Throughout the loss, thinking you're never going to get there, you're never going to win a series, they're going to change the team, and blokes like me, Gal, and the likes, with Lick Lewis won a couple earlier on, Hainsey, and they would just get left out and move on. But we finally got there, and looking back, it was a pretty special moment.
That's
amazing.
Awesome.
When you think about it, you do look at that 14 team and you go, like, New South Wales was also stacked, but you came up against, as you said, an immortal team, which is just unheard of. And I guess that's the big one. So it's good to see you guys get a win. I know we're all cheering. It was a tough little period for New South Wales. You always felt like you're in it, but just when you look at who they had, it was just one of those really, really tough periods for New South Wales football. Hey, we've got a couple of...
I think one of the tough things was that, they always had that spine locked down. Yeah. They always had their, Cam Smith, Billy Slater, like Cooper or Lockyer, Thurston, had the same sort of guys down our middle. If you look back at over those years, we changed. Like, there was me and Brett Camorley was 7. Me and Pete Wallace was year 2 or year 3. The fourth one was Jared Mullen, Mitchell Pearce. There was Hocko and Grubb. Like, there was never one year that was the same halves. And they're the most important players. They're the most influential players in the game. And we just couldn't lock 2 down, whether it was form or injuries or, it was a tough period for New South Wales in that half 5'8" position. So, coming up against a bunch of superstars down that spine made it difficult. But, it's hopefully we can turn the tide now, and Nathan can have that sort of influence on New South Wales.
Definitely.
Now, before we let you go, I've got a couple of little fan questions from people in the pod. That actually, one of them is from a guy who has claimed to have played against you way back in the day. Speaking about rough-head Maitland people, his name's Bodge Nevin, and he sent in this lovely audio message for you. Hopefully, you can hear it.
Birdman, Bodge here. 2004, round 4. Sharks down 22-12. Shane Martini has headbutted your knee and the ref's got it totally wrong, sent you off, ended up in a 10-match suspension to you, which I still can't work out. I was a South supporter at the time. I thought you'd knocked Shane Martini out, and I was ready to applaud you for that. On top of that 10-match suspension, a $15,000 fine by the Sharks, which South Sydney were going to refund, but Shane Martini played the following week. So South said, we're not going to refund that money. You didn't do a good enough job, Birdie. Anyhow, mate, great to hear you on the podcast. Back in the day, had the privilege of playing against this pretty ordinary Rutherford High team in a night game. They had this one player that tore us to bits, and they ended up beating us just on the back of this one bloke. It ended up being the one and only Gruge Bird, best player I've played against. Great to hear you on the pod, mate. Scotty, for fuck's sake, post this bloke some merch. Catch up soon, Birdie.
Fucking hell.
There you go. Well, any reply to that from old Bodge Nevin? Maybe he was the best player you played against too, Birdie. I mean, maybe.
Nevin definitely wasn't the best player I played. Mate, that game, we were getting beat by South. Back then, the competition wasn't as tight as it is now. Like, the worst teams in the comp couldn't beat the best teams in the comp. And not that we were the best team, but I definitely didn't think we were the worst. And coming up against South, I just thought we were going to beat them, and I was getting frustrated. And then a winger was carrying it off the back fence and like screaming as he was running the ball. And I was like, I'm going to whale this bloke. And I tried to hit him, and I sort of bounced back. I didn't get him. I didn't time it right. And stupidly, I just thought I was close enough that no one would see if I slipped a knee into his head.
Fuck.
And you look at the video, and I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
that'll be bad. I remember I went back to Paul Franze, who was at centres. I tried to get out of there, so I tried to run like back to get away as far as that they wouldn't associate me with it. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And,
Get away from the scene of the crime.
Yeah. And I said to Paul, what are you doing? I was like, it was an accident. Really, he just laughed. He just laughed in my face and said, no, it's not. That wasn't an accident. And then Shane Hayne called me over, and he said the match committee's looked at it, and you're off, and pointed. And I went, no, he said you're off. I leaned in and said pardon, and he just put his hand up. I was like, yeah. Wow. And then that was the Brian Fletcher story where he told me that everyone hated me. Everyone in the comp hated me.
Wow.
My own teammates hated me that he played with in Origin, and they told me I was a piece of shit.
Really?
Yeah. And
how do you
7 years
bounce
later,
back from that?
7 years later, I found out that he said that to everybody.
He was just staring at you.
Yeah, I had no idea. It was easily the best stuff I've ever heard, which I used after that. I actually asked Fletcher when he was doing an interview for the Matty John show, and he laughed. He said, man, I said that to everyone.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a good
Jesus.
one. Definitely.
I got one. If you can give us this information, Stig, he gets involved on the podcast, gives us Stig send off. He wants to know who is the biggest liability on the drink. Anyone go missing? Anyone just an absolute menace? Like they're there 1 minute and then they're gone for 7 hours?
There's a Knights player and a Sharks player. He was a menace. I wouldn't say full stone liability, but he was a menace. Like Matt Hilder. Matt Hilder.
Oh shit!
Matt Hilder's his nickname is Trouble. Like his nickname's Trouble. Like everyone tried to make Walt sing it, all these other ones. But when you have a beer with Matt Hilder, you know why his nickname's Trouble. Like it's
That's great.
He always used to say it was either me or him. He was going to get the first punch or I was, so I always made sure I did. that was his go-to after he'd get in a fight with a security guard or a bouncer, like a doorman or a random, or
Jesus Christ.
And he could throw them too, matey. He was
I
good.
bet he, yeah.
But,
Well, if you're going out of your way to do that, you know you can throw them because you're not throwing them like first if you know you're going to get your head kicked in.
Exactly. Jesus. You got another one there,
Last one here from Mr. Luke Gilchrist, another Maitland boy. He comes in and says, what's the best sledge you've had either on you or you've given, do you reckon, in a game?
Well, the sledge from Fletcher was the best one I've had on me.
That's pretty good.
I've actually heard one, but I literally cannot repeat it.
That sounds good.
You could.
I can't repeat it. It's too bad. No,
We edit.
mate. I'll tell you, but you'd have to edit it out. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
It was at a scrum. It was in a scrum against Parramatta, and it was Paul Gallen on Mark Riddell. Mark Riddell starts going at him. Mate, steroids can't help your fingers, can they? They can't help you dropping the ball, giving it to Gal. And Gal was fuming, like steam coming out his ears. And we went to the scrum base, and we packed the scrum. And then Gal goes, wait, and we pulled apart. And he goes, hey, Piggy.
I don't think we can top that, mate. I think we really appreciate you coming on the show and having a chat.
Thank you.
Still one of our favourite players to watch go around, especially for New South Wales. I'm shattered you were never a Knight in the top grades, but I love that there was the passion there and that you went on a bit of a run with the Knights. And I was going to ask you a question about getting injured in that game against the Knights, and now that makes a lot more sense off the back of the grand final call. So that you've shed some really nice light on that whole moment with Joey and Steve Simpson, who, funny enough, Steve Simpson is now my next door neighbour to my mum and dad's place in Maitland. He now has a farm right next to my mum and dad. So it's funny how small a world. And if you actually look at the Newcastle Knights, what side they could have had, when you think of like your Payne Haas's from Woodbury, as you said, Hudson Young, all these incredible players that could have been a Knight and wasn't. Imagine how many comps the Knights.
Willie Mason, Brett
Kamali.
Yeah, there's a few.
Robbie Ross.
Like if you assemble that, like it's almost like there's a Melbourne Storm waiting to happen. Yeah,
definitely. Jesus
Greg,
Christ.
thanks so much for your time, mate. Really appreciate having you on.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Legend. Thank you.
Well, Scotty, there you go. Greg Bird, done and dusted. I love it.
Wow. Seriously, that I feel like that he could have quite comfortably chilled out for like another 40 minutes or so. Like he was just so relaxed. It was just like, yeah, boys, whatever, let's do it. You know, that sledge though. You know, like all I can say to the listeners is, I'm sorry you didn't get to hear it because holy shit,
it's a good one.
Wow, yeah.
Good one.
And you know what? That's one that I might tuck in the back pocket for future.
Yeah, when you have a fight with the missus.
Word for word. 100%.
We will be back this Sunday night with another podcast. Hey, if you did love this podcast, please subscribe. It would help us out a stack if you subscribe to the podcast, Talking Sport Report. We're also on YouTube as well, so jump on there and follow. You can actually watch this podcast. We drop episodes every Sunday night. In the wintertime, we talk rugby league. In the summertime, we love talking soccer and cricket.
Basically, it's honestly, it's just two mates chatting shit on a Sunday night.
Yep. Don't go to the pub this Sunday. Just listen to our podcast.
That's right. And we have merch.
We do have merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up and just come and pick it up. Don't whinge about it. Come pick it up.
So big thank you, Mr. Greg Bird, of course, for coming on the show, and we'll see you Sunday.
See you on Sunday. And you know what? After that chat, go fuck yourself, Nate Myles.
Peace, love, dove. Nice.